G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talks Stuff. Now, a woman went viral for sharing her regrets. She feels betrayed by feminism. She is not the only one. A lot of women today feel betrayed by feminism. Some, however, do get media attention.
For sharing her regrets about ditching the idea of marriage and family. Now, her article in Business Insider reads, quote, I'm
38, single, recently realized I want a child. I'm terrified. I've missed my opportunity. Melissa personally got a lot of attention before it went on Fox. I think it was only on Fox and later all across TikTok for a little while. But yeah, the article originally went viral a while ago, but better late than never that the truth comes out, does it not? Because she's not the only one. A lot of women are feeling betrayed by feminism, particularly the have-it-all myth.
38 and single, and I recently realized I want a child. I'm terrified that I've missed my opportunity. That woman's name is Melissa Persling, and she's revealing to Fox News Digital what she thinks caused her current situation.
Now remember, a lot of people are going to say it was her choice. But you also got to remember the social and economic pressure on women is higher than that on men. Women who get a job, particularly a high-paying job, know that there is a lot more educated women who are going for their job, and once they get that job, it's like this is why a lot of women won't take time off to have family, because they realize that if they go away from their job, they won't get it back. This is why school teachers, I remember when I was going to high school teachers who got pregnant never came back. They would, and of course all the female teachers would rally and say, we demand jobs for life. You know, this is ridiculous. They cannot balance anything. They're constantly making demands, constantly trying to juggle, and you just can't have it all. A lot of career women who have delayed motherhood, never get to have children because they become trapped. Right? It's never enough. They never have enough money. They're always looking at the cost of living. They complain there's no good men. By no good men, they mean no one who's going to fund their lifestyle. But they never gave a damn about men when they were coming up the ranks of the party system. Partying system of college, fraternities, etc. So I'm going to be on the fence and say better late than never, and shouldn't condemn her for her past, but you never know what led to the situation. But deep down, I have a feeling that maybe, given that Melissa is in marketing, that this is just her viral marketing moment. But if it is, at least she has a positive message.
I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism. I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything. We don't really need men. Women can have the great career and have the kids that they like and change the tires and do this. I mean, I grew up thinking, and men are great, but like I can do all the same things.
Well, at least she admits that it was her, the way she was brought up and the way that she was indoctrinated to not want a man in her life. Okay, she admits that it was partly her choice because it was her thinking. this is why I always ask people to question their own beliefs.
Do feel in many ways betrayed by that line of thinking. I kind of want to go back to some of those teachers and coaches and say, what the hell did you mean by that? Because women can't do it all. We can't.
Do you think women can do it all? Or do you think...
You know what? I'm happy.
Well, feminism has left a lot of women feeling betrayed. Now, there's no doubt about it. You could look it up. A lot of women feel devaluated by feminism. They feel bullied by feminism. They now regret this do not need a man mentality, where they realise that they can't even, like the cost of living, they can't keep up their lifestyle. A lot of women who are coming to retirement are suddenly realising they've got nothing. They can't, that the $30,000 lifestyle they had when they were 20 years ago is now a $58,000 lifestyle, and they're only earning $48,000. Remember, these people may be earning six figures, but so much of it is going on their house, and they suddenly realise, wow, even if I've paid off my house, I've replaced my I still got the property fees. I'm going to have to pre-sell my house just to... And what happens if I live 20 years instead of 10? They realise they've only got 10 to 12 years of savings, and that is even if they sell their house at full value. It's never enough. They realise that you can't get ahead on your own. And of course, the biggest problem is a lot of these women, I'm not saying her in particular, led the double lifestyle of, I partied, so I didn't save. And on the other hand, the only relationships they've ever had was with other women, so they can't relate to men, and their entire and their ability to have a enjoyable sex life is burnt out of them through front-loading their entire sex life in the college years, and then burning out their feelings and their emotions on sex toys. I'm not saying she did it. She seems to have still enough joy in life, but you see them on TikTok. Their skin's graying, they've got sores, they're starting to miss teeth, they're premature aging at 40. The party lifestyle is taking its toll on women. And all women can do to counter this is say, but my autonomy. Your autonomy is an illusion. You are slave to the state. If you own a house, you are a slave to the state. You have to come up with property fees. There's no unemployment that covers property fees. And if you have a house and rent it out, you can't collect unemployment. So it's a double whammy every time. Right? A lot of these people end up having... They tried to make a double income by having a bigger house and doing Airbnb. That economy is collapsing. They never think ahead. So, yes, other feminists argue that it's state responsibility. It's capitalist society. It's a systemic failure. How can it be systemic failure when you want autonomy, right? Are you a slave to the corporation and owned by the corporation? Because that's what it looks like. You're transferring ownership of your autonomy from a husband to the state and expecting the state to ask for nothing in return. Well, the state wants everything in return. Eventually, you have been lured, right? As long as you vote for the state, do as the party says, you get your meager subsidies. But those subsidies are going to run out because they're going to run out of men to rob, because more and more women just want more and more women to go to college, more and more teachers, more and more school teachers, and it just reaches economic collapse because there's never enough for all these autonomous women. And then they turn around and say, oh, where's all the future taxpayers? You, as a woman, are the ones who provide your future. It's biological. But no, they now support the idea of just bringing in more migrants, just because pretty much that's what they want: more slaves, more cheap workers to subsidize their lifestyles. Feminism is an unsustainable Marxist state-driven economy. Yes, feminism is Marxism. People want to argue against that. I'm sorry, but it's cultural Marxism. Just because you don't call it Marxism, it's state-driven. Right? Everything's provided by the state. You know, oh, I can't afford my house. Here you go, but you take the house and you just give it to me back. And it's like, yeah, they want you to take care of it. You know, this is the problem. They want everything. And every time they get something, they want more. And it's leading to an idiocracy where you just have women bleating about wage gaps and housing shortages and never addressing the fact that they caused it all, right? They caused high property values by overbidding on properties in the 90s to be near schools. Then they overbid on properties in these big apartment buildings, these big condominiums, living the millionaire's lifestyle. I don't understand it, but it's thinking that, oh, when I retire, I sell my property for $3 million, my million. You know, San Francisco, the boomers priced all the San Franciscans out of the hills to build Silicon Valley. And now that Silicon Valley is collapsing and spreading out, and most of the factory jobs are gone, most of the migrant workers just wander the streets now, plus all the demobilized soldiers, and it's homelessness. Again, unsustainable economies developed by short-term thinking of give me now feminism. And then expecting the state to subsidize it. That's Marxism. Right? Free market economy. You want to be single? Be single. But don't get subsidized by the productive. And the problem is with feminism is they have to force their lifestyle onto others. And that's where she is feeling betrayed. And a lot of women are feeling like that feminism is nothing but a bully culture. And if you do look at it, most of your top feminists are all married, all have children, and are multi-millionaires from selling you their books, their yoga tapes, their yoga mats, their yoga clothes, the Kardashians and their TV shows, and all the merch that they sold you, all the endorsements by Louis Vuitton and others. And of course those companies, Louis Vuitton, L'Oreal and all those others, they're all dying. They're all being killed by Chinese knockoffs. Because it turns out, yeah. So, feminism has created an unstable, unsustainable society in which all the state now cares about is numbers of the population. It doesn't care about, you don't have Germans caring about Germany. You just have Germans caring about numbers. You don't have Americans caring about America. You have a multicultural. You have most of your Democrats aren't even born in America, and they will just want more of their own people to come over. To take over, to elevate themselves, because they all know, right? Latinos know Latinos are going to vote for the Latinos. So if you're a Latino, you're going to want more Latinos to vote for you. So you have a never-ending collapse of the system brought about by the idiocracy of white liberal women. And they're the only feminists left in the world. Most of your feminists are other than Korea or Japan, most of the 4B seems to have stopped growing for now, So, yeah, mostly a feminist now in the last few months. A lot of women aren't identifying as feminists very quickly now. And of course, there's this feminist civil war between the radicals and, well, fourth wave, fifth wave. You know, you have J.K. Rowling isn't your friend, men. She's just because it might be anti-trans doesn't mean she's your friend. She hates men. She just doesn't want to admit it because she wants to keep her options open. But she's funded $500 million to feminist causes. So don't think she's all that. So, again, the feminism that this woman feels betrayed by is the J.K. Rowling feminist. She's not a radical. She's not a septum ring nose or tattooed or a blue hair. So, yeah. I think we should show support for nothing but classic equal rights, and that should not include any feminist, right? Feminists should be giving up feminism and embracing the rights of man, right? Rights as established about 3 centuries ago, but the problem is all those rights have been eroded. And why? Because they don't want you to be able to resist communism. Look what they did to Venezuela. Look what they did to Cuba. Look what they did to Russia. Look what they did to Germany. Look what they're doing to Europe and the UK now. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Please support the channel. You can support me on Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. I appreciate each and every one of you. See you in the next video and bye for now. Oops.